sorry, what?
Welcome back to Mondays Are a Mother. I'm your host, Kaylin, and if you're new here, I'm glad you made your way to our space. Just a little recap of the past 2 episodes. Since last week's episode was kind of long, that recap will be a little different, just to get you all caught up in case you missed a few. Last week, we touched base with Miss Page, whose services were available on her Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. I did tag those in our episode notes, as well as tagged her on our Instagram. If you're not following, definitely do. We talked about a lot of impacts that happen in different communities in the labor and delivery, as she is a doula and starting on her journey in different realms. We learned about different types of doulas. I learned quite a bit, actually. We also learned about definitions, core values, also talked about just how we met. And then we discussed the craziness surrounding the ghetto office, which cracks me up because so many people who I previously worked with at my old job, some of you know I worked at a technical support company that offered third-party services. I won't talk about their name, but what I will tell you is that there was so much negativity. People would pretend to be nice to you, talk about all of these things, and try and help you build your brand, I guess. And then they would turn around and tarnish your brand to operation managers. I know one person in particular who still slides up on my story from time to time, trying to offer her well wishes, masquerading as what can I pray for you for, when it's to spread nastiness and hate. That's humorous to me. Thought that I was talking about them, and I want to definitely clarify I was not. This journey was much before that office. And let me just tell you, that office promoting culture and diversity, but maybe I am in my Scorpio era. Anywho, not about that office, just about our office, our journey, everything that we went through together, how we built our bonds, and what it looks like to be different or loud in a weird workplace. I don't know how else to describe it. And that was one of the coolest parts of her and I getting to reconnect, was sharing our journey, or sharing how we got to know each other in the space and what it meant to us to be able to build community, which is really cool, by the way. Like, I can't describe what it's like to have people who are in your corner all the time, no matter the distance, no matter the timing. To me, that's true friendship. So thank you so much, Paige, for coming on. It meant so much to me. Additionally, in the week before that, I definitely was beyond PMSing, first and foremost. But I'm not a gangster. I'm not an emotional gangster for sure. My heart was hurting. I guess they ended it, tried to end it, fizzle me out, whatever the case was with Mr. Carter. I do wish him the best, but it just, we already had it, babe. I don't know. Anywho, think that our journeys crossed paths for a reason. I recently discovered what was called the white rabbit theory. The white rabbit theory is when someone comes into your life to show you all the things that you know, want, and need, and flees as fast as it came. With that, it's to show you that you're on the right path, Alice, and the white rabbit just kind of keeps you going. So I'm just gonna assume this was the white rabbit, and I'm gonna keep pushing to find Wonderland. I don't know. I always try to find a extra meaning or an underlining meaning in something, because I don't want to be the hurt that I got for nothing. I just that would mean that all the hurt that I got was just like bad. And I don't want that. I gotta turn pain into purpose. That's been my motivator lately. And why I'm gonna continue to keep pushing. Now, now that those recaps are over, let's get into Monday. We have a few questions, and I'm super excited. I wrote down 3, and I wanted to touch base on those since they were kind of recap questions or previous episode questions. I figured let us dive in, kind of talk about what they are, and then just Monday. It's been a fucking Monday. Now, the first question was this is so funny. If I blocked Mr. Carter, how would I have known that he wanted to talk to me? It seems like you reacted out of emotion. Babe, no, I did not. I probably did, but at the same time, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Like, I'm going to die on that hill forever. It's not. Once they stopped providing reassurance, once they started posting, not wanting to talk to me, not wanting to connect with me, I took that for what it was. Because if a man wanted to, he would. If he's not calling, he doesn't want to talk to you. If he's not trying to spend time with you, he's not going to. Men don't shy away from what they truly want, even when it's difficult. They will do it. Which kind of brings me to this next question here. With the mystery man, a lot of people kept asking me, am I going to reveal his identity? Am I going to say who he is? Like, what's tea on that? I'm not going to tell you who he is. I have said that before. It is up to him whether he wants to reveal himself, however, or change his story, however he has chosen not to. He's not going to. And that's on him. Again, if a man wanted to, he would. And the types of men that I go for that seem to be my type are the, I guess, emotionally unavailable. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know if that's like the right terminology, but it's not necessarily emotionally unavailable. I think it's not, maybe emotional immaturity. They want something that they do not know how to maintain, or they want it but see the work that it requires to maintain it, and no thanks, they're full. And someone's gonna like the meal that I'm serving at a certain point, I mean, oof. Anywho, last question. The last question was, do I plan on having any more guests? The answer is yes. I definitely plan on having more guests. I want to have more guests. Sometimes schedules just don't align, to be transparent. That makes it a little bit more rough, which is why previous projects of mine did not grow or didn't continue as well as I wanted them to. I was super proud looking back at a lot of the episodes from me and Kelsey. We continued this project for such a long time. It was a little over a year, and I miss it. I miss her. I miss all my friends. I feel kind of sad here lately. Not that there is something missing, but that's kind of what I want to get about this week's episode, is that, like, I just have been feeling like maybe peace. Like, am I mistaking peace for boredom? Like, I don't know. I have not had any sort of like plans to put myself out there, I guess. I know that I should. I was single for a long time in between relationships. I know not everyone is going to be like the relationships that I have seen or experienced with such a not a volatile ending, but such like a closed off ending. I'm learning about repeating patterns. I'm doing all of these things and not repeating the cycle. But it's lonely, you know? It's kind of lonely to be at a place where you are at peace, but am I bored? I don't know. Like I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me. Maybe somebody can point me in the right direction. Am I the like I wonder if I'm the type, and I know that I'm not. Please know. I having all of these things on my plate full, school, jobs, kids, that I don't need to be in a relationship to be happy because I was single for a long time and I was very happy. And I think that this weird like fling and thinking about companionship or thinking about what it would be like to have a partner or in a partnership made me kind of miss that. It made me miss the dynamics, or I don't know. It made me miss what it was like to get excited about silly things, which I give those to myself. I know that's usually the advice, right? Treat yourself the way that you want to be treated, love yourself the way you want to be treated, do all of those things. And I do that, right? Like, there's self care, of course, with I don't just have big self care days. I will mini self care myself, whether that is a shower or getting off the screen time or finding a project. I just literally repainted my living room and decluttered it, cleaned the carpets out of nowhere because I, I think I needed something. I needed to see something come to completion and know that I did a good job. And that really was like validating for me. But I feel like lately I'm lacking a sense of connection. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to acknowledge it or to say that there is a want for companionship. But I also don't want to continue to put myself out there and face rejection or face. I think it's mostly when I start opening up or getting to know someone and then I'm willing to accept like all of their shit, but they're not willing to accept all of mine. How do I go from there, you know? And I think that's why I kept a lot of the times that I have been not in a relationship because most people, I guess, know me to only be in serious monogamous relationships. And that's easier for me. I think when you live in the culture that I live in or the town, whatever you want to call it, the the idea that you need to be married and have kids and you're going to be with that person forever, sometimes it doesn't work out, obviously. Look at me. I married my high school sweetheart and we get divorced and then I get married again and then we get divorced and then I marry the same person again, try to just keep it going. And it's like, I know that I'm the common denominator in all of these things. So when I look at the patterns and I look at the growth and I see where I am and how I ask for things and how I communicate with people, I'm like, duh, why wouldn't you love me? I'm literally the shit. And so I know that it's not me. I know that it's just a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling to have a want, but just not have like a sense of direction. I don't want to do apps. I don't want to do these things where I have to be like superficial. I want to meet someone organically. And I've met people organically, don't get me wrong. For example, I helped a friend with their wedding. And when I helped them with their wedding, it was super fun. There was a cute guy there, and he followed me on socials, which, oh my gosh, like, so fun, so cute. And then we, when I was on the dating app, it was really funny because as I was like scrolling through the grossness that was approaching me, I did see that he tried to, I guess, match me. So I I sent him something. It was like, "Hey, what the heck? Like, why didn't you just approach me in a normal capacity? Like, we're on socials together." And of course, it was, "Oh, just da 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 da." It was a weird excuse, and to me, that's not directional. And so I was like, "All right, whatever." And we continued to chat, and then he asked me for, I think he either asked me for my number, or I had just explained that I'm not big on chatting through a messaging app. Like, why? I have a phone for a reason. So I think I gave him my number, but he never texted. And then wishes me happy birthday. I didn't say anything because I just was like sitting there like, it's been months. You've had my number. If you wanted to talk to me, you would. So what the heck? And I think that's where I lack, is that I'm so directional. I'm so intentional. Like, what is the point? Like, why are you entertaining me if you don't want to do anything with me? Are you like just testing the connection to see if there's still a spark? Well, it's dead. The plug's out, babe. It broke. The end. Lights are off. Nobody's home. Evicted. And it's just odd. Not odd, but it is kind of this difficult transition, this difficult feeling of, where am I supposed to be? Who am I supposed to be? What do I want to be when I grow up? And I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know who she is. But I'm really trying to figure it out. I'm really trying to be I'm trying to be in my purpose. I want to feel fulfilled. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not the only one who's kind of going through this struggle of finding purpose. Like, I know I'm not the only one out there who's struggling to find purpose or peace. Even when I am at peace, but I am mistaking it for boredom, and I know that I'm doing that. And I don't want chaos. I don't want to overload myself. I don't want to be in a position to where I am struggling to keep my head above water. But how do you go from survival mode to normalcy and feel good about it? Well, I don't know. What does that what does that look like? I am balancing routine and adjusting to schedules and adapting to different things. But what else is there? How do I feel fulfilled? How do I feel excited or happy? I don't know. So I have been doing little things to try and bring up some endorphins, or to make I don't want to say to make myself happy, but I guess it is to make myself happy. I will buy myself flowers. I've been taking myself not out to eat, because no, I did get myself a little sweet treat the other day, a little Reese's bag, and then when I want something or want to get myself a sweet treat, I will definitely sneak one. I love it. It's helped a lot for sure. And then I did buy myself some little PJs the other day. If you saw my story, oh my god, I literally went to the store to get eggs, and I got distracted by the Dolly Parton pajamas because they're so freaking cute. The whole Dolly Parton section for Christmas, like, hell yeah, I'm getting that for show. And I did. I bought myself some pajamas, but I forgot my eggs at the store, so I had to go back. What a goofy goober. Oh, I was so annoyed. But at the same time, I needed to get out. I needed to be out of the house. And that's how I turn everything negative into positive. Everything happens for a reason. The butterfly effect, I guess. I'm just trying to find purpose in this loneliness. I think I'm trying to understand where I'm going, who I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be. And that's really fucking hard. Like, that's really hard. Like, nobody tells you that your 20s are your trenches. Nobody tells you that you're really a grown up, like, in your 30s. Like, you've spent so much time being a kid, almost the same amount of time being a grown up. So now you're like, all right, you should kind of have a handle on this. But we've rushed so much of our life so fast. And then you feel behind when everybody else is almost a grandparent in their 30s. My kid's gonna graduate high school at the same time that well, no, I'll graduate with my bachelor's before that. But you get it. Like, you get it. Like, he's barely half my age, and he's almost done with high school. Which is crazy to think about. And we live in this world where there's this invisible timeline that nobody tells you how to get there or the steps to take until you've already fucked it up. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I have to fuck up to get help. Like, I want to know now. I know I'm not the only one. Like, I can't be the only one. If you've been listening so far and continued this with me, I want to thank you so much. Also, I do have to say, last week, the audio was weird. And it was because, even with my new mic, I did not realize I didn't place it well. So I placed it a little low, which was right next to when she would move her hands against her fabric. The mic would pick it up. I was like, no, don't do this to me. But it happened, and it is what it is. We press on, and then it cut out. Which, how annoying. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making this project what it is. I wouldn't be able to do this without you all coming back every week. And we will be re-recording for sure and bringing her back and going over just how fun it was. Now, before I go, we, of course, have to do our tip of the week and our Monday mantra. Our Monday mantra of the week, both inspired about upcoming themes for advocacy, growth, and just trusting yourself. The mantra is, I am allowed to take up space even in rooms that weren't built for me. You don't have to shrink to fit the systems. There are people who don't see your worth. Your voice is your power. And my tip of the week, before you fight for change out there, make sure that you're honoring your needs in here. Advocacy starts with you. Rest, boundaries, and speaking up when something feels off are all forms of resistance and healing. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please check out our whole channel and all the links on rss.com/MondaysAreAMother. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Leave us a little review. Me and my personalities. If you leave us a review, a couple stars. I want to thank everyone again for making this what it is. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Now go kick this week's ass and get your spark back. You deserve it, beach. Bye.